there's no judgment. There's just total acceptance. The animals have been a good thing, as opposed to what the people have been. I just think there's just a love that's beyond words.
For horses, let's go. Are we gonna see Miss Sherry today? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay, you ready? All right, let's go. Oh, we got some drinks.
Well, we didn't know he had Down syndrome until after he was born, and it was kind of interesting because I was 36 at the time. So they did some tests, and then they said, well, it looks like you have a 1 in 400 chance, that he might have Down syndrome. So then my husband was like, oh, we'll take those odds, and didn't think about it again, And then once he was born, he was a C-section, and we were waiting and waiting to see him and for the doctor to come in. They kept saying, oh, the doctor will come in, to tell you about your baby. And I was clueless and oblivious, thinking this is how it always is when you have a baby. And then finally, the doctor came in, and then he said, we have some concerns. And what a day that was. Like, your heart just sinks.
All right, have a great ride.
Foot in. Okay, and swing that leg over.
There, big one.
Down syndrome is a very well-known, probably the best-known chromosome abnormality that happens in humans. It's due to an extra number 21 chromosome that's present in all or most of an individual's body cells. There's nothing wrong with the extra chromosome, but having 3 chromosomes in a group rather than just 2 leads to certain delays in development and the potential for other kinds of birth defects.
All right, here we go. What do you say? Well, this is not going to last.
I am his aunt, not by blood, but more so as my best friend since I've known since 6th grade. And so I'm Nee, right, Jake? Yeah, what's my name?
Nee.
Yes.
Oh no, what are we doing?
Car wash! Woo!
Good phone his head up. Okay, take him over that way. What do you say?
Go.
So Jake has Downs, and so most kids with Downs have like low tone. They need to work on their core stability and things like that. So just the movement of the horse is going to help with that core stability. Also, we were having him do some standing, which is really working on strength in the lower extremities, and also that core, because he's having to really balance. And if you notice when we were doing some unilateral stance, his balance, he doesn't have the best balance, so he can't stand on one leg for long periods of time. So even just building those muscles and building that balance helps. Eye-hand coordination when we're working with the tether ball is, throwing, catching, things like that. At his age, he should be able to catch in his hands, and when he throws, you should see good shoulder rotation and extension of the arm. And so when we were working on the tether ball, we're looking on him visually tracking, and then when we were working on the throwing and catching, we were looking at his gross motor skills in that area.
Jake, go Jake! Woo, woo, woo!
Hippotherapy is specifically geared towards helping kids build their balance, and for kids who have physical challenges, because it really helps the muscles by riding a horse. It helps your muscles, it helps your balance, it helps coordination.
Okay, let's tell her to go so we can put our egg away. What do you say?
Go.
Cognitively knows everything, but what the horses are helping him to do is to develop his speech and his muscle tone. So it helps increase his core muscles and strengthens his neck, so that way his tongue is not as cumbersome, and he actually can speak better, right, Jake? So his speech has been getting a lot better since he started horses, and he also has other therapies as well, but the hippotherapy is and has been really helpful for his core muscle development for speech.
And throw the balls? How about 5? 5 throws, and then we'll be done. Okay?
We've noticed, like, after a session, his language is a little bit better, like something with the air. Like, I think it might have to do with the steps, you know, that when he's on the horse, like the going up and down, then it helps him with, like, getting air out to form more syllables and more words together.
31, 32, 33, 34. When we very first started standing, like, he could only stand up for maybe 10, 15 seconds. And then standing on one foot, he wasn't able to do that at all. And hopping, if you saw, he was able to hop one hop. So he's built on some of those goals, the stair climbing. So even though we're working on those activities on the horse, I mean, working on strengthening on the horse, it's overflowing into his functional. Sterner, good job. It looked like it was shiny and blue. Well, let's go see what's in the mailbox.
He definitely has more core strength than he used to. So, like, whereas he would sit on a swing and kind of just, like, you know, lean over it. But now, like, he sits up and he does swing himself, and probably a lot of that was the strength of riding a horse. And then I know while he's sitting on there.
Okay, you ready? Let's count our eggs.
1, 2, 3.
Children with Down syndrome oftentimes are very relaxed. It's because their brain is somewhat more immature than other newborn infants. So they can be slower acquiring motor skills during the first year of life. We expect them all to walk. The cognitive development doesn't really become apparent until they get a little bit older, where their speech might be delayed.
Cognitively, he gets it. It's the speech that it can be difficult, and so I always have to be cognizant that it's important just to keep talking, even though sometimes I think he might not understand. He understands everything. It's just he just is not sometimes able to express himself, which is frustrating.
Turn. Now on the horse, you'll see that he's leading the horse, so he's using his cognitive skills also now. You know, we need to turn the horse to the right, we need to turn the horse to the left. He's learning to hold the reins appropriately. He's learning when he wants to stop to communicate with the horse, pull the reins back and say whoa. Today was probably the best I've ever seen him say whoa. He usually just lets it go, and then he says whoa way after we've already stopped. So today he was actually saying whoa at that time. His speech has improved significantly. And as you build core, and as you build, it helps with the oral motor, it helps with all of that. So he's actually built his speech repertoire while he's been working on horses.
Watch.
Car wash, okay. Say, Miss Sue's car wash, please. Tell her.
So as you become more coordinated and you can do more things, or you can speak more clearly, what you're doing is you're able to communicate better with your family, your friends, the kids that are in his class. You're done? You know, he's able to communicate his needs more. Gross motor wise, he's now, like, he's playing t-ball now. So he's going to take some of the skills that we've been working, the catching, the throwing, and even the galloping, running, stuff like that. He'll take that and be able to utilize that in practical activities at home. Because it's not about that individual skill, it's about putting that skill into functional activities that you're going to do. Eyes on bell, go blink, 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 to wash away the tears.
I have a number of patients that do have a therapy with horses. I think that most kids, not all, but most kids really like it. It gives them a little bit of a sense of control. Some of the children that have real motor problems, they can sit on a horse and steer the horse around. And that gives them kind of an independence that they don't have if they can't locomote on their own.
anyone can really benefit from riding the horse. There's kids with autism, there's kids with cerebral palsy, muscular dystrophy, just the whole gamut. And so it's any child that has physical delays, or there can be speech delays. There's speech therapists that works with kids on the horses, and they have speech goals. And there's occupational therapists that would have more occupational goals, building arm strength, building visual tracking goals and things like that. And even building your core helps with like handwriting and fine motor. So it's just not physical therapy that works on these horses, it's all the different therapies. For a hug and say thank you, Belle?
Yeah.
Thank you, Belle. I think there's a bond that you make, and they're able to kind of associate with the animal. I mean, I don't know if you'll notice, I mean, he's like blowing the flies off. He's patting Belle, his horse, and things like that. So he's bonding with that horse, and so he's making a connection with an animal. And I think that generates, he's anxious to do things on the horse that he probably wouldn't do otherwise because of that connection with the horse.
Hey, Knuckles, make it explode.
Okay, Vargas.
Did you find one?
I always say that it's kind of a magical story because Gabriel's Angels started on accident, but it continues on purpose. I had brought my 1-year-old Weimaraner to the Crisis Nursery's Christmas party for fun. I dressed him up as Rudolph because I wanted the children to finally meet him. And when I brought him there that day, those kids were different.
Go right down like this is his spine, just like I did on yours. Oh, that's excellent. I think he likes it. Bacchus and I are a therapy team for Gabriel's Angels, and we come to the Boys and Girls Club once a week and meet with a group of children, and just to sort of make them feel good about themselves, make them feel like they can contribute to Bacchus, make him feel good. Wow. You want to do the other ear? Hold the ear with one hand. That's it. Oh, yeah, that feels good. They have snack first. We talk about what we're going to do, because I have the same group of kids for 6 visits. And today's grooming. We do training one day. We do meet and greet, work and play with animals. And then the last day we kind of just have a party.
We're not at a visit throwing a ball for a dog to retrieve. We are doing activities that bring the child in closer contact with the therapy dog, and that's when the magic begins. That's when the core behaviors are built in these children.
220 million times more than ours.
Dogs, they offer us something that no other being can, unconditional love. And it's just amazing to see it in action. They're very in tune to us. And I never realized it until I saw it in motion with the teams that we serve. And once you witness it, you become a true believer.
What I try to stress throughout all of the sessions is how they're feeling and how the dog is feeling and what difference they can make in making the dog feel better and how they can make themselves feel better by working with the dog.
I like when he grabs it, your hand is slobbery.
Sometimes groomers put a little bow on the dog when they're finished. And there's some ribbons there if you want to do that.
There's no parameters. It's not like, well, if you do this, I'll love you. It's as long as you treat that animal well, that animal takes you at face value. And that's, I think, one of the most powerful things is not just getting unconditional love from the animal, but is being able to give it.
Can you talk a little louder? Just a little bit. Well, a lot of them start out scared, so that usually disappears pretty quickly.
I'm a groomer.
A lot of them get better at communicating, both to me and with Bacchus. They gain confidence because they realize that by their routine and work, the dog will do what they want. Your dog name is Bacchus. There's another Bacchus.
Me too.
Oh my goodness.
My dog name is Snoopy.
Oh, Snoopy, great.
And animals are introduced into the life of a child from the time they're born. I mean, many first gifts sometimes a child receives is a stuffed animal. And it becomes that relationship between children and animals where there's unconditional love, there's no judgments, there's no pretense. And what we've seen, the children have this hard shell they've built around them. The therapy dog softens that shell and creates cracks and fissures, allowing that unconditional love to reach the heart of that child.
How do you reward somebody who does a great job?
By thank you them.
Thank you so much.
I think that just the pure, non-judgmental nature of the animals and the acceptance that these kids don't get anywhere else is so amazing for them. To realize that a dog can come up and lay his head in your lap and you can pet this dog and he's so glad that you're there. That's something that these kids don't get sometimes in their lives. And to be able to give them that is just an amazing opportunity for our teams and for the kids. And the dogs love it. I mean, the dogs love it. The dogs don't do it because they're forced to do it. They just love working with the kids.
He has two types of hair. He has smooth on his ears, okay? And then kind of wiry too. I think children can express themselves to dogs when they might have problems expressing themselves to adults. And I try to give them some one-on-one time with Bacchus. And I always tell them that he's a very good secret keeper. They can tell him anything. You won't give away their secret. Oh, no, don't eat it. He thought it smelled so good he'd eat it, huh? I'm surprised. And has he ever been to a groomer before?
Cut him a little bit.
They learn to see a need in another living being and fill the need. That's the hallmark of empathy. Bringing the therapy dog water may seem like a very simple act in a lot of homes. But to a child that's been victimized, that is desensitized, it's amazing when they see the need and they fill the need for that animal. That's the hallmark. That's why Gabriel's Angels exist, to develop these core behaviors with children that lack them and let them learn them through the unconditional love of a therapy dog.
Jamari, you are an unbelievable groomer. You really are. I think you could enter that dog in a show after you're done. Oh, it makes me feel wonderful. Just to see them smile at Bacchus. And say thank you for coming, Bacchus. It makes it worthwhile. It just is wonderful. Yeah. You're a good boy, Bacchus.
When Bacchus is here, how does it make you guys feel?
Glad.
Great.
Grateful.